This is my 2007 BMW R1200 GS.
And over the last month, I have resurrected this bike and have been upgrading it on a budget. And this episode, we're going to be starting a 7,000 mile road trip. If you haven't seen any of the videos before, this is a good place to start. Alright, new week, new day. It's already like 80 something here in Fresno and it's only 7 in the morning, so I don't want to spend too much time here. We're going to be driving through San Francisco today, but I've never ridden across the Golden Gate Bridge, so I think that's worth paying a little bit of money for and doing. What we're really doing today is trying to make it to the Usal Road, which is like an off-road thing, and then there's beach camping at the end of it, or in the middle, I don't know. I haven't done too much research, like a lot of this trip, so we're gonna see how that goes. I want to thank my Airbnb host, Andy, super cool guy, and we had a conversation, and it kind of made me feel a certain way about the trip, and the fact that like when I first started this trip, I wanted to get away from everybody and go to the middle of nowhere and camp and eat and read my book and just be like done. And starting to realize that's not really what I want in this trip, and all my best memories and the best part of this trip have been the people. I'm just trying to make more connections, I guess, and I think it'll make for more interesting videos because you guys don't even get to see the other half of stuff that I don't record, which I'm trying to get better at too. So bear with me, guys. We learned a lot from last week, and this week should hopefully be better. Let's get out of Fresno because I'm hot. Today's ride is going to be a bit of a long one for sure, but I have to speed up travel times a bit since I spent a big part of my budget already. I was riding through a lot of farms and decided to stop and grab some fruit. Some of the best tasting fruit I've ever had at that. Yeah, boy. I almost forgot to get gas again. This whole area just smelled like garlic for some reason, but regardless, we were on our way to San Francisco. In no time, I had arrived in the Bay Area and got stuck in traffic and had no space to lane split with my behemoth of a GS. In short time though, the moment had finally arrived. I spent about 2 minutes just screaming and yelling and fist pumping, and it was great because this bike had made it all the way to San Francisco. Isn't that crazy? This was a $700 bike, and now it's so far from home. After taking a quick break, ended up getting a little bit more gas, and we were off. I had about 3 hours left to get to the actual road that takes you up to the campground, but it was no problem. The last paved road up there has to be one of the greatest roads I'd ever driven on and made going off-road even more exciting. I'm telling you guys right now, if you have the ability to go here, you should do it. I legit don't know how I'm gonna top this one. This trail was the perfect level of difficulty. It was challenging enough to where you had to be focused, but not so tough that you're exhausted and worried about breaking stuff. I had this vision in my head about making it to the end of the beach through the sand and really wanted to make it happen. And, I did it, but buried my bike in the sand during the process. In the moment, it felt worth it, and I was happy until I couldn't get out. Luckily, I did have some help. I'd like to introduce one of the people that helped me, Ernie. Absolute legend with that super sick setup behind me. I spent a second admiring this amazing campsite and then set up my own camp. I then went and thanked the Germans that helped me out too. Can't forget about them.
German Richard.
I was gonna do a nice cooking video right here. Problem is there were no major stores around me, and when I stopped at this local market, they didn't have much. I saw this can of Spam and thought, hey, I've never cooked with Spam, so let me give it a shot. So I tried making like Spam fried rice. It was hella windy, but I got it done. And yeah, I will never be eating Spam ever again. This place was so beautiful, and I wish I could have stayed longer, but unfortunately I couldn't. I ended up having a great conversation with Ernie, and people started lighting fireworks off, which made things even cooler. My man Ernie had a portable camp stove and some firewood that made things even better and made me want to buy one. But anyways, guys, this is where my day ends, and as always, I appreciate you watching, and I really do hope to see you at the next one.